Nice. We beat it. How long? It is only a 2.5 hour stream. Wow. You know, I think I only played this game for like 5 hours yesterday. No. 5, 6, 7. So I put in 7 and then plus 2.5. 8, 9. So this game was only like 9.5 hours long. We'll say 10 hours just to round it out. This game was only 10 hours long? That wasn't very long at all. Let me kill the tunes a bit for you. Yeah, this is the time where we talk about this shit, right? So, what'd you guys think? That was, Resident Evil 3 Remake. I'm not sure. Personally, it plays just like Resident Evil 2. So, I honestly feel like I just played more Resident Evil 2 Remake. Except, I think it's kind of hard to say because I like 2 because it's very suspenseful. But 2 is more of an ammo management. I felt like I could be a lot more loose in this one. I was really tight-assed up until the very end, and I totally didn't really need to be. So I kind of fucked that up. Watching RE is one of my favorites. Yeah, so the thing is, it's a pretty cool game because it's still Resident Evil 2 Remake, but I think I get why Eris keeps saying it's DLC, because it really isn't very big. There's really not much to it. Although, when you buy the game, you get this online component with it, but I can't imagine that online as being anything that anybody would care about. You know what I mean? But maybe it is. Maybe the online is something that people enjoy. I'm not sure. So I don't know. Ultimately, this game really is just Resident Evil 2 Remake. It's just Resident Evil 2 Remake, but with less resource management and more action. It's a lot more action. So if you don't really want to spend time like kind of worried about how much ammo you have or yada yada, if you want to have more fun just blasting shit, this game does a really good job of that. The problem is that the system, the engine that this game is made on, is not really facilitating that action. The way that you play the game is very stiff, not very responsive. Like, it's hard to aim and stuff. It's very stiff. It's very stiff. That's the only real way I can explain it. So the game wants you to move and action-packed and, you know, keep on getting around. But it's so slow to really move. You're slow to... It takes forever to recover when you dodge. I never really figured out how to parry shit. I kind of was just randomly parrying by mashing, which is definitely not what they meant. So there's probably something to the parry that I haven't, you know, the dodge, the instant dodge, perfect dodge, whatever it is. I didn't figure that part out, but I clearly I got through without really needing to do that. And I had plenty of health. I had tons of ammo, mostly because I was thinking it was going to be more of a conservative game. Really don't need to do that. And then on top of it, kind of giving you a reasonable amount of ammo, you can make your own. You get to play as Miguel, Carlos, whatever. You get to play as the dude, and the dude, you could totally just go crazy with the gun. Like, you could just fucking shoot shit all day long. And that's his segments, is that you just let loose with the gun. And the assault rifle is really cool. Even though it doesn't feel very good to do those things exactly, it doesn't really feel that good. Like, there's a lot of that, you know, trying to get it right on the head and the zombies kind of wobbling around. That part sort of sucks. A little bit. It sort of sucks a little bit. It doesn't really feel that great, but it does have some kind of a feeling that is pretty good. I like some of it, but not all of it, you know? I like some of it. So it's a weird thing. I'm actually kind of mixed because I don't really like shooting things as much as I think I could or as much as I think I should. But that's what this game really wants you to do, is shoot a lot of stuff. And that's fine. It's just, it doesn't really develop that. So there's no real puzzles that I could really tell. There's no real like need to explore. You kind of go back a little bit, but for the most part, this game really does funnel you in a direction, and it plays out like an action game. It's an action game set with Resident Evil 2 Remake's engine. It doesn't really work out that great. Not great, but it was fun. I had a good time. But this thing is $60, man. You gotta spend $60, and I gotta be honest. You compare that to Resident Evil 2 remake. There is almost no content. Resident Evil 2 remake. Not only do you go through it one time, and it takes a bit longer than this, you also get 2 characters that you can repeat the content for, and there's even an entirely different scenario that you can play, and it's all good. So there's a shit ton of replay value with Remake 2. But with this one, I guess it's all about the online component, which didn't really sound that great, right? I mean, it doesn't seem that great. Honestly, I haven't really checked it out, though. I don't think I'll bother, though. Why would I play online Resident Evil? That's not really what I'm into, right? It's just the nice one trip. So that's kind of the thing about this game. I'm talking a lot of shit because of, like, it's kind of short. It is kind of DLC. I see why people have been making the meme. But because I'm not really that huge into Resident Evil, I actually sort of liked that it was just kind of quick and down the line. I sort of liked that it was just a straight shot and we're done, you know? It is more of the same, so I would be getting pretty tired. At about this point, I'd be getting pretty tired. I'd be like, man, I've just been shooting shit all day. Now that it's over, I actually feel like it ended at a good spot. I don't really want to play any more than this, and yeah. I mean, I don't really want to play any more than this. So if I'm looking at it like completely objectively, I don't think this game is really. It's a hard sell. At $60, I just don't think it's worth it. It really does feel like a bit of a small game. It feels like a bit of a small game. Not even really small, just medium. It's a medium-sized game with no real replay value, other than the harder difficulties if you're really into that shit. Which I'm clearly not. So. Tough sell. It's a tough sell. Really, if you like Resident Evil 2 Remake, you'll like this. You just get to shoot more things. That's really about it. Portal 1 size game. Maybe. This is a pretty good tune, by the way. It's the song from the last game, I think. I actually never really went through all of Portal 1, so I can't quite say if the size is accurate. It could be, though. It could be. But beating it in like 10 hours, and obviously I was fucking around. Here's the stinger. It's probably nothing. I guess. I actually wouldn't know. Oh, damn. It's just one last shot of Jill's ass. Ooh, the results screen. Maybe I shouldn't show you guys this. I got a C rank. 81 saves. 81 saves. Man, I don't apologize. I am an unapologetic. That's my number. 7 deaths? That's not very much. That's not very much at all. And a lot of those deaths were really at the start when there was this one thing I kept dying. I think it was Miguel. I was trying to punch the hunters a bunch and I kept dying. Man, trash bag nemesis. This is so weird, right? This guy turns into that weird-ass blob that we shot. You guys don't understand. You guys don't understand. Resident Evil Nemesis. Nemesis. He's a guy in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You could play him in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Jill is a character in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. These very same characters. But they are nothing like these characters. This guy doesn't wear this trash bag as a trench coat. He has an actual trench coat, which looks really cool. He doesn't turn into this weird-ass big blob thing. He does have tentacles, but that's kind of it. He has a rocket launcher and a bunch of tentacles. It is really weird that they took Jill and they took Nemesis and did this kind of really strange take on it. It's very different, I guess. It's very different, and I guess that's kind of what a remake can do, is be different. But unexpected. And then if you also have to keep in mind that Jill turns into some weird mind-addled anime character in Marvel as well. Like she in Resident Evil 5 or something, she turns bad. She turns into a bad girl. Wesker fucking fucks her mind up or something. It's really weird. So like knowing all that stuff and then playing this game, it's so odd. It's so odd. It's really it's odd. It's very odd. I don't know what's going to happen from here. I kind of feel like maybe they're doing like a reboot through these remakes. They're like rebooting everything, maybe. I'm not sure. I get that feeling that they're trying to cut out all that stuff that happened afterwards. But in any case, Resident Evil 3 Remake. I like the game, but it's not worth $60. Fire up Final Fantasy 7. It ain't ready. Final Fantasy 7 ain't ready. Honestly, I wouldn't even be able to. 8 hours. We got another 8.5 hours. Here's the thing. This game really was sort of in my way, right? I just wanted to beat this game and be done with it. And I'm glad I did. It was fun. It's just, I really want to play Final Fantasy 7 Remake. We're playing so many remakes these days. I'm actually kind of surprised. So many remakes these days. I can't suggest this game for $60. I think really that's what I want to come down to. I can't support this game for $60. It's too much cash. There's not a lot there. And then this weird online version that comes with the game, like, I can't imagine this being anything too good either. This is like a rejected game, you know? They were like, well, nobody's actually going to buy this game, so let's just fucking shove it into Resident Evil 3 and call it a day. You know? No one's actually going to buy Resident Evil Resistance. So that's what they did. No, I love them weeb games, absolutely. What? Weeb games? I can't wait. This is gonna be fun. This will be what I play tomorrow. I'll try and play this tomorrow. I don't know when it's gonna be. It might be like a deep in the middle of the night game or something. I'm not sure, but I definitely want to jump on it. Is there anything else we want to do about this? I think this is done. I don't think there's like a bunch of shit. You can now purchase stuff from the shop. Yeah, I don't even care. This is a cool game, but it's not worth the price tag right now. It's a cool game that's not worth the price tag. That's all. Glad I beat it. Very cool. Very interesting. I still think Resident Evil 2 Remake is better. I think Resident Evil 2 Remake is better. It's got more. It's more of a enjoyable pace. It's very creepy. It's very much a horror game. This one kind of tones down the horror by making it a lot more action-packed. But it's using a system that's not really very good at pushing you into action. You know, it's not that great. It's really good with the atmosphere. It's got really good atmosphere, and that's what 2 does, is create a beautiful atmosphere. This one, it's still good. I mean, it's still a Resident Evil remake type of game, and it's cool. But, yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. I would not encourage anybody to buy this at that price, though. At $60, nah. No need for that. Too much. Deep throating a railgun was pretty cool. Yeah, I'll give it up. That was cool. There was a couple of cool things. I like, you know, the thing is, it had really good set pieces because you literally are just being pushed down hallway after hallway, and you're watching cinematics pull out, and then sometimes you're doing little interactions. You know what it kind of felt like? Maybe some Dead Space? Maybe a little Dead Space in there? Except Dead Space had a much funner combat system to it. Much funner, with the dismemberment and everything. But it kind of had that style of cinematic approach to, like, you're kind of in control, but not really. You know what I mean? You're kind of there. It felt like they were trying to do a bit of Dead Space. But obviously Dead Space did it much better. I'm not disappointed. I guess really, I don't want to say it was forgetful, though. I guess that's a... Is it forgetful? Is the game forgetful? Are you guys gonna, like, oh, you remember Resident Evil 3 Remake? Like, I don't think I'll really care too much. I'll be like, oh yeah, that was a thing, you know? Yeah, I remember playing that. I don't really think it's anything that stood out as amazing. But it was pretty cool. It just had some cool shit. It's a good game to rent. How about that? Good game to rent. You can knock it out in 2 days of, maybe even 1 day of serious play. 10 hours? 2 days of pretty solid game session. Maybe 3 if you're kind of casualized about it. Yeah. That's worth it for a rental for sure. It's definitely a really good rent game. I heard nothing about the online, and I can only assume it's trash. I can only assume at this point, if I haven't heard about it, it's probably garbage. But that's that. Resident Evil 3 Remake. I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. So, who's hyped?